Good morning, children, students of class 9. I hope you all are at home and keeping well, very well, and also going through your studies. You all are now in class 9th, and we are already very much into your syllabus. Now, in geography, children, Binti ma'am has already completed the map work of our Central Highland. I will continue with the Peninsular Plateau, the remaining portion of the Peninsular Plateau. Now, there are few basic things which I would like to inform, though I think ma'am has already emphasized, but still, as a matter of habit, we have to remind you all repeatedly that for geography you will be using a practical notebook. You know how a practical notebook is, that is, one side will be ruled, that is, you will be having a rules notebook on one side, the other side will be blank, and you will be pasting your map on the white side in this way, just like I have done, and you will use this ruled side, this ruled portion, for writing the index of the locations that you will be locating on the map, or you can also prepare an index in this blank portion of the map. So you will be using this map of India. It can be a political map or a physical map, whatever you are getting right now in the market. I cannot emphasize because it's a lockdown period. So it will be best if you use a physical map for class 9th. Only the last chapter of class 9th requires political map. You can very well use a physical map, children, and if you are not having, then political map will also do. So you will be using this map, and we will be writing the index either in this portion, or you'll be writing in this white ruled portion, and on the white page you will be pasting the map. So for the first map of the Deccan Plateau and its surrounding hills, I will be using, in fact, the political map, because currently I do not have a physical map. If you have a physical map, you can very well use a physical map. And here, children, I will be writing the heading, what the map is showing. You can also write it here. If the space is permitting, you can write it here. Remember, every map must have a heading. And you can use colors also for writing the index and locating on the map. Whatever color you show in the index, that color will be used in the map itself. But you will not use blue color for showing mountains. You will not use green color for showing mountains. For showing mountains, plateaus, you can use orange color, you can use brown color for showing the mountains, and if they are not available, you can simply use your pencil. Okay, so choice of color is very important in the map work. So first I will start with writing the heading here, and then of course I will write the index here, or I can write it on the rule side also, and you all write according to what I am doing. Okay, children, so let's continue with the map. Now, children, looking at the heading I have written is the Deccan Plateau and bordering hills. So this will be the heading of your map. Now here I have written the index. The first one is Vindhyas, number 2 Satpura, number 3 Western Ghats, number 4 Nilgiri, number 5 Annamalai, number 6 Cardamom Hills, number 7 Palni, number 8 Eastern Ghats, number 9 Deccan Plateau, and then we will do the peaks. For peaks, I have used this small triangle. This is the conventional symbol for showing the peaks. Small triangle. So a small triangle, and then I have written A. Anaimudi, this is the highest peak of the Western Ghats. Second, Doda Beta, this is the second highest peak of Western Ghats. It's in Nilgiri. Anaimudi is in Annamalai. And then in your NCERT book, it is written Mahendragiri as the highest peak. Otherwise, there is other peaks which are higher than Mahendragiri. But because in your NCERT book it is given Mahendragiri, we will write Mahendragiri itself. It is the highest peak of Eastern Ghats. So this is the index. Now children, we are using this map. Now one thing I would like to specify in the beginning itself, no one will fold map and paste it. You will cut the sides, like for example you must have seen that I have cut the sides in this way. Here also I will cut the sides, and if the you will be using a bigger practical notebook, but if you have already started using a smaller notebook, what you will do, if the map does not fit in your page, you will simply fold it in this way, and from the bottom also you can fold it in this way, and then you can paste it. But do not fold it into a square and paste it from the middle, because repeatedly you have to open the map, and this may tear the map away right from the places where you are folding. So simply just whatever portion is not fitting, you simply fold it in this way after cutting from the sides. So let us start with the map work. Now children, let us first start with the location. First location, number 1 is Vindhyas. Vindhyas you have also already located with Benti ma'am. So you can easily find this corner with little bit of gap from this corner. Vindhyas is located in this way. Okay, so we will write number 1 here, Vindhyas. Okay, so from here till here. Then with little bit of gap, we all know that Narmada flows in between the Vindhyas and the Satpuras. So with little bit of gap, the Satpuras is almost parallel to the Vindhyas. So we'll write 2 here. You can write it here also as you feel like. So that is the Satpura. Now number 3 is Western Ghats. Now Western Ghats is drawn very close to the western coast. Okay, so from here we'll start and we will continue it in this way. But how long will we continue? You can easily find this nose. So just little bit above this nose we will stop. Just look at it, see this nose is here, little bit above this nose I have stopped. So this one is the Western Ghats. You will draw it close to the western coastal plain. This side will be a narrow western coastal plain. So this is number 3, the Nilgiris. The Western Ghats. Now coming to the Nilgiris. The Nilgiris is a part of Western Ghats itself. So here I will draw it in this way. This is a part of Western Ghats. So a part of it is in Tamil Nadu. It's little bit in Kerala. So number 4 is our Nilgiri. Then this Western Ghats, I will continue below this Nilgiri in this way. There is a line here and there is another line here. So this line is the Annamalai. the Annamalai Hills. Here you can see it is written Annamalai. So here this is Annamalai, and here this is number 6, that is the Cardamom Hills. So Annamalai Hills is here and Cardamom Hills is here. Then number 7 I have written as Palni. Palni is parallel to this Nilgiris. It is joined with Annamalai here. Almost joined with Annamalai here. So this is number 7. Okay. Then we will draw the Eastern Ghats and the Deccan Plateau. Now children, we will draw the Eastern Ghats. Now Eastern Ghat is drawn as a broken line. Why? Because it is discontinuous. And you can see I have left a broad gap between the coastline, eastern coastal plain, and this Eastern Ghats. Here the gap was very narrow, thin, but here it is quite broad, and there is gaps in between because the Eastern Ghats is a discontinuous range. So it is broken into pieces, and so it extends from Orissa and crossing across little bit of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, then Tamil Nadu. It almost meet with the Nilgiris here. So this one is our Eastern Ghats. The number is 8 in Eastern Ghats, so we will write 8 here. Okay, this is Eastern Ghats. And then we have the Deccan Plateau. So Deccan Plateau roughly covers this portion. Okay, so you can simply draw a rough triangle and write here number 9, or else what you can do, as plateaus are shaded with orange color, you can simply use a simple orange color crayon and just color this portion, because plateau we generally represent with the help of orange color. So just it will look a little bit different, colorful. So I am using this color for representing the plateau area. Most of the children, especially the girl students of the class, are very much artistic. Please make your geography book like a scrapbook. You will have lot of maps here. You can use your colors, different colors. You can use your creativity, but of course do not use green color for showing the mountains or water bodies. Similarly, do not use blue color for showing mountains. That is against the general colors that we use. Okay, so here we are having the Deccan Plateau. Now coming to the peaks. So peaks always we show with the help of our triangle, small triangle. So the highest peak, Anaimudi, is located where this number 7, that is Palni Hills, and the Annamalai Hills are meeting. So just at this corner. So here we will write A. Okay, this is the highest peak of our Western Ghats. The second highest peak is Doda Beta, which is located on the Nilgiris. So on the Nilgiris we will draw another peak and we will write it as B. Okay, number C is Mahendragiri. So Mahendragiri is in Eastern Ghats, and it is located in Orissa. So Mahendragiri is here, so you will write C. So this is the map work of your peninsular plateau area. You have already done the Aravalli ranges. I'm sorry, you have not done the Aravalli ranges. Aravalli ranges we will do when we do the map work of desert area. Okay. Now children, we have not done, I think you all have not done the northeastern plateau with hills. Now you can use a separate map for that, and if you don't want to use, we can have the same map, we can use the same map showing the northeastern plateaus with hills. So in that case what we will do, we will be having two headings. So I have just put A here, that is the Deccan Plateau and bordering hills, and here I have written B, the northeastern plateau with hills. So we will have a new index or a keynote for this map. So if you are writing on this rule side, so it will not be any problem, but if you are making your index in the map work, in the map itself, we can use this side of the map for writing the index, because there are very few locations, small locations are here. So children, I have already shown you, I have written A for the Deccan Plateau and bordering hills, and I have written B for the northeastern plateau with hills. So here also in the index I have written A, because A stands for the Deccan Plateau and bordering hills, and here in the index I have written B, because B stands for the northeastern plateau with hills. So here we have very few locations, just 6 locations. So in number 10 you will write Garo Hills, Garo, Garo Hills. Number 11, Khasi, Khasi, Khasi Hills. Number 12, Jaintia, Jaintia, Jaintia Hills. Number 13, Mikir, Mikir, Mikir Hills. Number 14, Meghalaya Plateau. And number 15, Karbi Anglong, Karbi, Karbi, Anglong, Karbi Anglong Plateau. You will find the reference of this name in your NCERT book as well. Now let us start the locations. Now here, this is the state of Meghalaya, and you will just draw 3 small dash here, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. So this one is number 10, this one is number 11, and this one is number 12. Garo, Khasi and Jaintia Hills. Mikir Hills is here in Assam, number 30. And this portion is the Meghalaya Plateau. This portion is the Karbi Anglong Plateau. So children, this portion is the Meghalaya Plateau. This portion is the Karbi Anglong Plateau. This number 13 becomes the eastern border, that is the Mikir Hills is the eastern border of the Karbi Anglong Plateau. Now I will color it. This Garo, Khasi, Jaintia is the southern border of Meghalaya Plateau, and the Mikir Hills, this is here, this is Mikir Hills. So let me color it. So this one is the Meghalaya Plateau. So Meghalaya Plateau is number 14. and this one, the Karbi Anglong Plateau, this Karbi Anglong Plateau, this one is number 15. So again I am repeating, here we have number 10, that is the Garo, the Khasi, the Jaintia. They are almost lying on the border of Bangladesh and India. So Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, they form the southern boundary of the Meghalaya Plateau, and they are located just on the border of India and Bangladesh. So this is Garo, this is Khasi, this is Jaintia, and here is the Mikir Hills in Assam, which is number 13. Here is the Meghalaya Plateau, number 14, and here is the Karbi Anglong Plateau, number 15. So children, this is for your map work. You will please complete this map work for your Peninsular Plateau. Next day I will be of course doing your Indian desert and the coastal islands. But I am going to give you few questions from this Deccan Plateau and the bordering hills. All of them are objective questions and you will find it very easy. Just follow my notes and consult the NCERT book for the questions. Children, I have written the questions for your homework from the Peninsular Plateau portion, mainly the Deccan Plateau and the bordering hills. So the first question is, name the bordering hills of Deccan Plateau. The bordering hills of Deccan Plateau. Second question, mention the direction of slope over the Deccan Plateau with the name of rivers. That means that you have to write the name of the rivers that is flowing over the Deccan Plateau, not over other parts. So mention the direction of slope over the Deccan Plateau with the name of rivers. Third question, what separates the plateaus from each other? Third question is, what separates the plateaus from each other? Fourth question, what type of mountain is the Aravalli? What type of mountain is the Aravalli? Fifth question, which winds bring heavy rainfall in the western coastal plain? Name the orographic barrier. Which winds bring heavy rainfall in the western coastal plain? Name the orographic barrier. Number 6. Why do the Eastern Ghats do not cause much rainfall during the rainy season in the eastern coastal plain? Why do the Eastern Ghats do not cause much rainfall during the rainy season in the eastern coastal plain? Okay, so you have to give reason why the Eastern Ghats is not responsible for rainfall, heavy rainfall along the eastern coastal plain. Seventh question, name some passes that helps in movement across the Western Ghats. We all know Western Ghats is continuous, so there are few passes that helps in movement, because sometimes you will find that when we go to Mumbai from Patna, the train has to cross through many tunnels, because there are many hill ranges like Michael, Mahadev ranges. So the train moves through the tunnels because these tunnels has been cut across these hills. So name some passes that helps in movement across the Western Ghats. And the last question, where do the Western and Eastern Ghats meet? Name the peak located in this range. So the peak that is located in the range where Eastern and Western Ghats are meeting. So children, these are very objective questions. So you all please write down the answers, and just like the previous time, I will give you the answers and you will cross check your answers yourself, verify how much correct you yourself are, and be very honest in cross checking your answers. Okay children, thank you. Do the map work very well, very neatly, and write down the answers. This will be my only homework. After that, we will continue with the desert region, that is the Thought Desert and the western and the eastern coastal plains. Thank you children. Have a nice day.